Well, hello Dirtfish Rally friends, end of day 2 here at the Rally Chile BOBO, and it has been, to be honest with you, one of the most fascinating days. I wouldn't say one of the best days in the last couple of years, but certainly, David, one of the most fascinating days. We've seen tyre wear, tyre management becoming a real issue, and it was, as I say, fascinating to watch how different drivers dealt with it.
And how different teams dealt with it.
Yes.
That was the real bit. It's not often we get the chance to say
we were right.
we were
right.
But we did our own recce, and we drove a couple of stages, and we said this is really abrasive. This is very abrasive. And then everybody was talking a lot about Friday. We talked more about Saturday. Saturday was the day. I mean, but even by everything that we saw, it took us by surprise. Nobody expected it to be quite that bad. Equally, running a soft tyre, of course, it completely accentuated the problem, and it absolutely shredded them, didn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely shredded them. The team that got it wrong big time were Toyota. They sent all of their drivers out this morning on soft compound tyres. Tänak at the front, and then Teemu Sunninen behind him. Well, they had a few hard compounds, and it worked for them. David, you had a good chat with Tom Fowler at lunchtime, and he did explain in the usual Tom Fowler way, which for me is very un-engineer-like, because I understand what he says. But he did explain the process the team goes through to select tyres.
I think we might be doing Tom a disservice there. It was a very engineering, but approachable.
That's what I meant. That's exactly what I meant.
But there was lots of engineering in there.
Yeah. But it was he put it across in a very, very clear way for...
But actually, why don't we just let Tom do the talking?
Yeah, let's hear from Tom Fowler.
Our tyre choice that we made here was made in exactly the same way as we make all our tyre choices. So we have a process by which we calculate which tyres will be the best option. Of course, calculations can be wrong. So we went with what our usual process tells us to do. We put that process to the drivers last night. We went with the solution that came out, and it turned out to be the wrong one. So I would say the good news is that we know how we chose that tyre. We know what data was used to choose that tyre, and we know that data is not correct.
Yeah, so there we go. Computer says softs.
Not the computer. You know, there's a whole bunch of...
yeah, computer says softs.
Computer said softs.
Computer said softs. As Tom said there, that's the first time they've got it wrong.
Yeah.
The important thing is they understand why. So, what did that mean, David? It meant the morning saw massive turnarounds, didn't it?
Not massive turnaround, certainly not at the top, because Tänak was already leading going in.
Yeah,
But it absolutely compromised Alvin's potential to challenge for a win. Taka and Calais were already kind of further back anyway, so it didn't hit them so hard. Hyundai sort of sat in the middle of the road. We saw Thierry go out as one of the 3 and 3, for me, Tänak has driven a great day today. We've got to move on to Tänak.
We
Came into today with 4 seconds in hand, goes out with 58 seconds in hand. That's pretty impressive.
That's enormously impressive. And it's one of the better days he's had for sure in an M Sport car. That is absolutely for sure.
The best.
Well, we had this discussion earlier on. Elliot, our cameraman, said his best day ever, and typical David Evans style. No, it wasn't. Sweden.
Well, yeah, but I thought his best day meant his best day. So winning in Sweden was your best day.
Yeah.
But in terms of performance of stage wins, today was an incredible day. But it was helped by the fact that Toyota's got it so wrong.
And that Tänak and M Sport got it
so
absolutely right.
No,
this was what Oit told us at the end of the day.
Obviously, it's a good day. Yeah. We had a kind of perfect day. Obviously, big of the job was done, I guess, yesterday evening. Behind the table with all the choices, and obviously this first loop in the morning we got more than 50 seconds. So I guess the big game was decided there.
Tomorrow, tell me about the plan for tomorrow. How you approach those 54 kilometres.
First, we need to do a correct tyre choice. And let's see how much we have left. There are. It's difficult to find, I guess, good tires. I'm not even sure how many we can still use, but it's still long enough day.
If it's been Tänak's best day, the driver of the day for me, the driver of the past 2 days for me, has been Teemu Sunninen. We saw yesterday in challenging conditions for a different reason. Sunninen managed to deal with it. His teammates didn't. Again out there today, Sunninen has dealt with things really admirably. His first time on hard compound tyres, he didn't get fussed. He didn't get in the slightest bit panicked. You know, he was completely focused. He knew what he had to do, and he went about it in a great way.
He did. He did, and it's easy to underplay that. Being on the hard tyre for the first time, he'd never tested on it.
That's
He's
astonishing.
never really done anything on
No.
it. And even if he has tested on it, which actually he probably has in Finland, it's such a different surface. It's such a soft surface compared to what you've got here. You absolutely can't correlate that at all. So that's a great job. And just the big thing for me, we've talked about this a lot. He's found an edge.
Yes.
We've noticed a real edge
Yes.
to him. You know, it's in the attitude to everything. It's in the attitude to the interview. This is my time. I've got an opportunity. Get out of my way. Stop talking. I've got more important things to be doing with my time. And
it's a selfishness that you need to have. It's a
100%.
selfishness. I'm not giving you my time. I'm not giving you my energy because I'm putting.
And he hasn't been rude.
No.
No. But he's just been forthright with everything and got on with it. And
Absolutely.
it's great. It's really good to see. And at the end of the interview, what was really interesting for me was when he said,
Well,
actually,
let's hear it. Let's hear what he said. Let's
Spoiler
hear what he
alert.
said. This is Teemu Sunonen just a few moments ago. Any discussions about you having to give up your position as yet?
Not yet, but let's see what we are going to talk on the evening meeting.
I suppose that's part of the deal, isn't it? If you know the situation, you can't get annoyed by it. You can't get too upset by it.
True, for me it would be okay, but on the other hand, I don't know what it will change. So let's see if they want to see if I can drive against Thierry under pressure.
Dirtfish Live Center.
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 Dirtfish Live Center. Dirtfish Live Center.
That was the interesting bit was, I want to fight with Thierry.
Yeah.
You know, I want to fight. Bring it on. And that
Bring
was great.
it on.
And that was
Is
great.
he going to be allowed to fight though?
Well, no.
Tell you what.
Let's ask Thierry what he thinks.
It's not me to ask him, and I never ask anybody. It will be team decision, but in this case, I don't know. I don't know how much our chances are to win the championship. I didn't watch now how much points Kalle could get from the event as well. We have to see how much tires they have left also for tomorrow, and what could be the final outcome. But I will do my job, and I will try to catch P2.
Welcome to Dirtfish, where we'll teach you how to do this and this. And all you have to do is click this link. We'll see you soon.
It was nice to hear him saying today, oh, thank goodness, I feel comfortable with the car now. It does tend to swing though, stage to stage, doesn't it?
Yeah, but also he's had some issues, hasn't he? We didn't realise he lost hybrid after the first stage, didn't have hybrid at all, and then sounded like he had some real kerfuffle trying to get the thing sorted.
Yeah.
And just about got into the last stage of the day. But then set a great time. Was clearly pretty fired up, a bit stoked in there.
Yeah. And you know what? He hasn't as yet given up on the championship, and that's the right thing to do. Mathematically, it's difficult. Rovanperä is the man in the lead, makes it even more difficult.
Yeah. Maybe give up on that one, Thierry.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Take a look at the timesheets for the final stage of the day and see who was right up there. I think 5th overall.
He killed it.
You know, and to be
100%.
quite honest with you, we had a chat with him after the penultimate stage.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, did we expect to see him trading times with Sammy, or did we expect to see him? He should have, in my view, potentially have been beating Sammy in the stages today, but he was being clever, he was being sensible. And this is a new side of Solberg that maybe we haven't seen so much of. You know, he's using his head, he's beginning to think strategically. And if you want to be a champion, which clearly he does, you've got to master that quickly.
I would say he's had that ability. We have seen that ability before at times. You know, you look even back to when he was driving the Subaru in American Championship all those years ago. There were times when he was like 18 years old and he still had that ability to think. And coming into this event, he knows, this is his last round of the WRC.
Yeah.
Yes, he's going to go and do the Roger Albert Clark in a Ford Escort. nobody is really going to care too much about that result. Nobody's going to remember. People will remember this result.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
what he's had a run of pretty rotten results for whatever reason. He knows he needs to bag a solid result to end his year, to leave people. You're only as good as your last result. And for me, it was a real thinker. And at times today, we were talking to him, and you could see in his head he was thinking, is
He
this
was
the right
putting
thing to
pressure
do?
on himself.
Is
He was
this the
putting
right thing to do?
pressure on-
Because
yeah.
you are giving people time.
Yeah.
But then when he came out and he got those 4 tyres that he could really use in that last day, and went in and scored 5th fastest time,
Unbelievable
was
stuff.
pretty incredible. So good on
Very,
you.
very impressive. Good on you, mate, as they say
On you, mate.
in Australia.
Are we in Australia?
Not yet. No,
Feels
but
like
where
we're
is
in
it?
Australia.
It's
It's
across
just over there.
There somewhere.
Just over the water.
Folks, it has been, as I said, a really, really fascinating day, a really enjoyable day, an exciting day here
You had an
in
enjoyable
Chile.
day?
I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I loved the
Because he
morning.
got behind the wheel briefly.
I got to drive at one point. I got so much grief. It's just, well, you can imagine the sort of grief I was given.
Sorry to that.
Folks, we do have 4 more stages to go. We have 54 kilometres to go. And obviously, the rally ending power stage. What's the weather going to bring tomorrow, David?
Coldness.
It's going to be cold. He's going to love it out there. I'm going to love it. And of course, don't forget, if you missed anything at all, that is the link to the, yes, well done, David, above your head. That is the link to the Dirtfish Live Centre. You can go back through, well, you can go back through everything that's happened here. You can go back through everything that's happened all year in the WRC if you feel
And
that
the
is
American Championship.
and of course in the ARA and the American Championship. One more day to go at the Rally Chile. Pio Pio.